much.
Welcome to
Coffee with Toffees.
Let's do this.
Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Coffee with Toffees. My name is Toffees, as always, bringing you the action here today, and we've got a special episode for you. This is with the guys from Team Leviathan. We're actually in their house. They've gone ahead and set up a couch right there, and I don't know if it's the living room or where it is, but we'll find out, where they can talk to you directly, as well as myself, so I'm excited about that. Before we get into it, though, I do have to thank our sponsors. Brought to you the show today by Razor, Namecheap.com, a site for hosting your sites that cares about esports, Betway betting, the only way to bet real money and trust that it's going to get done right, and the brand new MM1.fm. That's an app that you can download right now for Android as well as iPhone and get updates on esports, as well as download popular podcasts that are syndicated, such as Coffee with Toffee. So make sure you check out those sponsors who support esports and the little guy. That said, you can find me at Toffees_Dota2 on Twitter, but I'm tired of talking about me. Let's talk about our guest today. This is Team Leviathan. They've had a couple of names. They've gone back and forth. Some of you might have heard of them as Flipside once upon a time, a long time ago, but they are here with me tonight. How are you doing tonight, gentlemen?
Doing great, thanks. Good.
Good night tonight, Toffees.
It is, and it looks like you guys got comfortable. I see that we've got a few brews. We got relaxed. Did you have a lot of scrims today, or are you coming in pretty much straight out of bed?
No, we had a few scrims today. We did 2 best of 3s.
Nice.
A little tired. He did some casting, Flying Zebra.
Oh, yeah?
Check him out. ES Portal with Blaze is pretty legit.
Nice. So branching out a little bit, I like to hear that. That's good to hear. Now, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. How the fact that you're casting now with guys like Blaze on ES Portal, you're a team that is fairly well known. I mean, you're well known, especially in the North American region, but you have a name that's recognized internationally, and that's all relatively new over the last year, and in the last 6 months. So we're going to talk about that, as well as sort of how you got to that point. Before we do, though, it is a news show, so we have to talk briefly about the news. Guys, not a lot of news has happened in the last couple of days, mostly because MLG Columbus has been going full steam, and everybody's been sort of starting back up since then. But it is worth noting MLG Columbus is over, and we have a champion that a lot of people did not expect. The analysts, the vote, pretty much everybody I talked to said, hands down, MLG will be won by Evil Geniuses. Nobody there is as good as they are. That said, not the case. Evil Geniuses fought through. They literally had to go through 3 rounds of best of 3s to get to the final because they messed up a little bit on day 2, and they did it. They beat MVP Phoenix 2-0, they beat Ninjas in Pajamas 2-1, and then they got to Team Empire, where they took a game and then lost, and Team Empire actually became the grand champions of MLG Columbus. That's a pretty big upset, guys, because if you look at the ELO voting as well as the media vote rankings, Team Empire is looking at like 8 and 9 in the world, and Evil Geniuses is consistently number 1. Do you think that that implies a big shakeup to the rankings when you see an upset like that, or is it just an example of maybe EG was just really tired from a long day?
Whose turn is it?
I feel like Empire has always been kind of a dark horse team at LANs for like the past year. They usually have a lot of big upsets, so it's not too surprising that they came out with a win finally. But they've always had really good results in LAN, so kind of expected, I think.
Makes sense. I can definitely see that. It's somebody who you're not surprised to see upsets. And let's be honest, viewers, if you've tuned into the show for a while, we can talk about the show back before the last TI. Before TI4, I sat there and I said, man, Empire's a team that could win this whole thing because they were in such good form leading up to TI. What happened at TI? Well, I don't want to talk about it because I look like an idiot with the way that they played. That said, they're doing it again, and hopefully they can stick in good form. So that's the news. Not much else has happened, so we'll leave it at that. And I know that the summit is coming up in a couple of weeks here, and they're going to be putting out some announcements as to what's going on there, so we'll keep an eye on it. Something that you guys are familiar with, the redemption vote was going on all week. It's actually wrapping up tomorrow. They had the pre-redemption vote and the post-redemption vote, And unfortunately, even though you promised Jenkins to play nothing but Pudge the entire time, it didn't seem to be enough, and Leviathan did not carry through to the final 3. There is an interesting thing, though. The teams that did are Alliance and Na'Vi. That was a little bit confusing to me, I think. But I guess there's something to be said for Legend in terms of Legend in the field. We talked about it last week. Tony Hawk always wins events that he plays at. Sean White is not the snowboarder he used to be. But he still gets #1 rankings because of the fact that he's still Sean White. So it is what it is. That said, let's meet the guys from Leviathan. What I've got here is what I'm going to do is I'm going to say your name, I'm going to introduce your screen name, and then talk about your position a little bit. If you wouldn't mind just waving when I say your name so that the viewers know who you are in terms of the team. We don't often get to see faces going along with names. So we got Andrew Jenkins, a very creative screen name over in the middle there. He plays the off-lane 3 position. We've got Eric Shredder Sheeter. There you go. You like added a letter playing the carry position. Jason Newsham. I'm seeing a trend here. Our support number 4. And then we go to the guys who actually came up with names that are a little bit of a deviation. Michael Flying Zebra Stanisgib, the member with the longest name on the team and the most. You were like, I'm going to even make it Flying Zebra so I can fit more words into my actual name. I like that. He plays the support 5, and I'm going to take a pause before I go to Shibby because this is something we need to talk about, Flying Zebra, is that I don't get to see you play Dazzle very often anymore, and why is that? It makes me very angry. It makes me really angry. Flying Zebra is, in my opinion, one of the best Dazzles in the country, and he never does it anymore. Is that because they don't let you play it?
You had to take a drink of that beer before you answered that question, didn't you?
Yeah, I think Dazzle's still great. It's just there's so much axe, sometimes it's hard to pick, but
That makes sense.
He has a very specific role, I think. Sometimes it's hard to run, but we've been trying a lot of new stuff, and it hasn't been the hero that I wanted for that. So, yeah, I think I'll be picking him more as well. I still like him a lot, so.
How can you not? So much fun. There's not a lot of 5 heroes that you get to make clutch plays with, right? Like, it's one of those heroes where everybody goes, wow, what a shallow grave. Whereas when you're Crystal Main, they're like, wow, what a mana regen. So it's not the same thing. And then we've got Josh Shibby Trenholm playing the mid position, the greedy man who from what I understand, you even require your own bedroom. You're so greedy. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I think I deserve my own room. Greedy player.
We're going to watch the video in a little guys where we take the house tour of the Leviathan home. And I think my favorite part in there is where you say thanks Arteezy for the greedy mid thing, because that cracked me up pretty much.
That was your favorite part?
It made me laugh. There was a couple of good ones, but
I like some other things about that video.
Well, afterward, what we're gonna do is we're gonna show the video, guys, and then we're gonna have you talk a little bit about it. I like that it's got this sort of Cribs vibe, but we'll save that so the viewers can see it if they haven't already seen it. And if you want to watch it again, it's on the Leviathan YouTube channel, along with some other fun stuff. The redemption vote video is there as well. It didn't work, but it was still a lot of fun to watch. Apparently, you call your fans ants, and fortunately, Rumble released Ant-Man video. So, for all of those insects who love Leviathan out there, definitely go check out those videos. It's some pretty good stuff. So let's do that. Let's show the video for everybody who's watching that may not be familiar with it. For those of you who are listening on the podcast, we're about to show a video you can check out on my YouTube for this show, or I would recommend going straight to Leviathan's YouTube and watching the short there. But here we go, live with the play of Leviathan's house tour. So here we are.
I think they can sit here. I see 8.
They can, but if you guys want to talk during the thing, it's your video.
Oh, fuck's sakes. Zebra ruined everything. Sit down, Zebra.
The Sunshine State. This is our gaming house.
I see Matthew.
Me too.
Matthew, post it on Reddit.
First things first, we have our beautiful Leviathan. Courtesy of Nutter.
Wearing the same shirt? No, it's just like the same shirt with blue.
Marana, of course. Jenkins Pudge, Shredder Patrol Warlord. People always ban that. That's all I can play. Chibi's Storm Spirit. We're picking that against Sniper. And looks like we have Shredder Juggernaut too.
Same
Next up
sweater.
is our
You should have
Gunner.
every day. I'm trying to enjoy.
James wears the same sweater literally every day.
Statues here.
I don't think they can
We
hear you
also
anymore.
have
They can?
Courier Manager's parents
No,
come over
yeah,
on Sundays.
this is they can.
They said they
God,
can't.
that's bullshit. It's off now.
Welcome
I can guarantee
to
it,
the
Trey.
Leviathan kitchen.
Sure.
First and foremost, we have a nicely stocked fridge with a lot
Look at these tight.
of stuff in it. Ranch dressing, pickles, pickled pickles, schmuckers, all sorts of crazy shit in there. Nice water filler here with dispenses ice as well. Nice big stove here, cookie jar, of course. And nice big pantry, goodies in there, Fruit Loops, you have Oreos, different sorts of things. And then finally we have a dishwasher for dishes, because we're lazy bastards. So this is the Leviathan living room and lounge area for watching some games. We have Shredder and Flying Zebra on the couch, watching a little bit of Star Ladder, Power Rangers versus NIP. And on the other couch here, we have Roy, our assistant manager. So next up, we have our gaming lounge with all of our computers and a nice Brazzers couch there set up. So if we walk in here, we can see we have Michael Stannis Flying Gib is playing Flying Zebra. He's playing his Ember Spirit support. Nishim's on his computer. Shibi looks like he's doing some NEL here. So if you guys want to say hello to the YouTube Reddit viewers, you can do it right now. So this is Shredder's setup here. He's got a lot of gum, a lot of candy.
Alright, so next we got upstairs our replay analysis rooms and where the bedrooms are.
Okay. So you can see here we have our manager Corey, and he's doing some Reddit monitoring and Facebook monitoring, working on the calendar. He's doing this 24/7. TV for replay analysis. Of course, the couches. We sit here and talk about how we fuck the pooch in games, and we do that a lot. So this is the master bedroom, and this is where Flying Michael Stannis Zebra stays, and Shredder also stays here. Just two beds, nothing too special. We have the zebra print bed for Zebra. We have the Shredder bed for Shredder, and Shredder's #1 fan. Next up, we have our master bathroom with a lovely bath. Nice sink fixture with lots of mouthwash and toothpaste for the gamers. We have a closet in here, nice and big, for Shredder and Flying Gib Zebra. And that's it. If you walk down this way, we have the bedroom for Nushim and I, Offlane and the support player. Obviously, we're going to have a bedroom together. It only makes sense. We've got the natural bond of the team. So we have a Final Fantasy poster in here. That's pretty much it. Nothing interesting. Shibi's bedroom, he's got his own room, of course, because he's a slow mid player, so he's greedy. Pretty typical. Thanks, RTZ. Finally, we have Roy's bedroom. He has a girlfriend, so he has to have his own bedroom for obvious reasons. And he's got a nice little TV in here. We're probably going to use that for replay analysis. Finally, we have our manager Corey's bedroom, and it's a big-ass bedroom with a big-ass bed. So we took you through the whole house. You saw the kitchen, you saw the replay analysis area, gaming area, all sorts of crazy Leviathan swag. So until next time, I'll see you guys on the flip side.
And we're back. That was the guys from Leviathan's house. So we got a chance to see where they live and what they do.
We are living at the moment in this.
Oh, wait. I hit the wrong button. There we go. So, guys,
You're on the flip side.
let's talk a little bit about the house and sort of living there. Now, there was a point for a brief time where you were sponsored by a group called Flipside Gaming, who I think now sponsors some European team. And you chose to go back out on your own and retake the Leviathan name. So is this house paid for by sponsors, or is this something where you guys are just committed enough to the team that you decide to do it yourself?
We have an angel investor it's our manager's dad, pretty much, and he's like a big business guy with a lot of money, and he's trying to make an investment, pretty much has like faith in the team and like in the NA scene, and just wanted to put money into something. So we kind of, and a lot of the stuff we're like, obviously it's an investment, so we're like trying to pay it back. So we got a lot of monetization stuff to go through. We haven't like quite figured out yet, but it's getting there.
Okay, so you've got a place. It's in whereabouts is the house?
You want our exact address?
No, I just want to know where in the country you are. I mean, are you guys are you moving to Canada like everybody else seems to be, or are you staying in the States?
No, we're in Florida, in like we're in the coastal area.
Palm Coast.
Palm Coast in Florida. Apparently, it's on ISIS's hit list, so that's like pretty not a big deal. But I don't know. Being from Canada, people like don't want to hurt you, and you come here and people are trying to rob you and bomb you. They're ISIS. It's not a big deal, but
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I don't usually have ISIS come up in my interviews, but it is a worry. Are you guys all from the area, or are you from spread out across the country in different places? I know you're from Canada, but where is everybody else from?
Shredder's from Colorado, Denver, or Golden, it doesn't matter. Chicago, Shivy's from Chicago, Newsham's from Sacramento, Flying Zebra, Stannis Gibb, Michael Stannis is from Washington.
Gibb.
Seattle, and I'm from Ontario, Canada. Corey and Roy are 2 managers. They're from here, so that's like why we got the house here.
And that's why he has the biggest bed and they have the nicest rooms, because they
right.
they didn't come in a suitcase.
And buying.
So, how old are each of you now? If I can ask, before we get into like sort of the transition to living in this house, is everybody? Let's just do ages, and maybe if you've had a chance to even go to university, or if that's something that's on the books, or what's going on with that?
Well, I'm 22. I'm the oldest by a couple weeks, and I was actually like 1 semester away from graduating before we came out here. So we're just taking a break. I'm going to go back and finish my degree in like computer science sometime, but yeah. So that's me.
19, planning to finish school as soon as we're done with all of the gaming stuff. Don't know when that'll be though.
20 or 21 now, I guess. And what's a big deal? I got my age wrong. Big deal. Let's get out there. I got my goddamn age wrong. Not a big goddamn deal. Okay.
Well, it is a little bit of a big deal if you're holding a beer on live television.
Oh no, I am 21.
Okay, there we go.
I'm 21, legally or something. I have 1 year left of university, computer science. I'm gonna go back after probably 4 months, depending on if we qualify for TI. Who the hell knows where we're gonna be? That's pretty much it for me.
19. I never went to university, but I plan on going to school after we're done with this. Probably sometime next year.
What are you going to school for?
Not yet.
I'm 22 as well, a few weeks younger than Shredder, and I did about 2 years college. I was studying computer science as well.
Okay.
And some psychology before that.
So, as I suspected, it sounds like a lot of you put education on hold to kind of pursue this esports thing. When you went to your families, and because it sounds like everybody's from all over the country, and said, hey, we just got a house in Florida, I will not be returning to school next semester, I'm going to go live there and play video games 24/7 for a living. How did that go?
My parents are cool with it. My mom just said as long as I go back and finish, she supports me, so...
That's good.
Yeah, same here.
Pretty lucky with that.
I finished school afterwards. It's not a big deal.
He wasn't done.
He is now.
I was done.
So did anybody's parents sort of have are you sure this is the right choice and you had to run away from home MSS style, or is this something where everybody seemed to be fairly supportive?
I think so.
I didn't have to run away or anything, but I've been doing it for a while, and my parents were having some small doubts because I stopped school probably a year ago, so I've been out of school for a while. I'll probably need to reapply to university or something, but basically I told them that it's a big opportunity for me, and they support me because I've been pretty independent most of my life, so my mom trusts me pretty much anything I do, as long as I believe in it.
Excellent. So that's good. I mean, it's good to have some support there. So you guys all packed up your bags, threw some things in a suitcase, and headed to Florida. Now, of all the states that you went to, I don't know if that's the one I would have chosen, but, if Corey's got a connection, Corey's got a connection. That said, what has it been like? I mean, have any of you, lived away from home before outside of just going to school? Is this sort of a new shock and awe experience, or has it been incredibly comfortable? I know Corey's parents cook dinner for you once a week, but there's a lot more to that than when it comes to living by yourself.
I'm done with this. I'm done with the process.
It's I lived with roommates before for school. Feels pretty much the same, only instead of having to wake up and go to school and hate it, I get to wake up with friends and play video games. So it's pretty cool. It actually sounds like my college career. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good. So we're in the house. We are doing our training thing. Let's talk about training. how much like what does the average day look like, or let's say the average day and then the average week look like for Leviathan in terms of living in this gaming house?
So the current schedule that we decided for ourselves that we think is the most effective use of our time in terms of balancing practice and trying to like monetize opportunities to pay back our investor is we scrim about I'd say 5-6 hours a day.
Wow.
And then the rest of the time is doing other things related to Dota in terms of like being productive, or just relaxing if we need to.
Do you want to talk about the like full schedule?
Yeah, we can mention it. Basically, we get up at around 9, wake up, and we get ready to start scrimming by 10:30. So we eat, shower,
some other things.
Maybe get some sun, relax a little bit, just get woken up. Start scrimming at 10:30, and we scrim until about 2:30.
Okay.
And then we'll take a lunch break. Then we'll watch a replay, and then come back to scrimming a few more hours.
Okay.
Until about 6.
So you have a very static schedule. Like you've put together a regimen. It's not a, well, when everybody wakes up, we'll start playing some games. It seems like you're approaching this in a very business-like fashion. Is that how everybody's mindset was when they came in? Is that something that your manager sort of imposes upon you? Or, is everybody excited about that kind of schedule?
We didn't really have that idea when we came in. We were kind of just like a bunch of idiots coming into the house and like, drinking, playing games, that sort of stuff. And then once we played a lot of teams in Summit 3, and then we lost some games to teams, not just Summit 3, but tournaments, that we thought were actually in a worse position than some of the teams we beat, we realized, like, we're really inconsistent, and we need to, like, shape the fuck up, for lack of better words. So, like, the way we're planning on doing that is, like, having a consistent schedule, like, structure, kind of like school, because it's usually when we're like inconsistent, we really like fuck the pooch in a game. It's usually because like Shibby's like unfocused or pissed off, or I'm just like tilting like mad, just like, oh, these fucking idiots are killing me offlane, or this guy's like feeding, or these guys are being idiots. It's always something that's like to do with like, it's like a psychological factor, like emotional. It's never really like this player doesn't know a specific hero, or it's never something like that. Usually, it's like a clear problem with a certain player, like, or group of players, like, in terms of just like something emotional. So we realized like the only way to remedy that is to make our lives like more structured. So that's what we're doing with like the schedule.
Sounds like a great idea. I mean, that's something you'd see out of a traditional sports team. Regimented practice schedules, sleep schedules, all of that stuff. That makes sense. By the way, for the viewers who are wondering who the guy is kneeling behind the couch, who was too silly to get a chair for himself, that is Corey, the manager of Team Leviathan. Handles social media, holds the team together, so I want to make sure that they know who you are. Now, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break for a commercial from one of our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to talk about recent performance. We're going to talk about going towards TI and what your plans are to sort of prepare for that next step, and time and plans after the TI push. So stick with us, guys. We'll be back right after this short message.
Razer Comms is a free all-in-one communication tool that allows you to stay in touch with friends both in and out of the game. With features such as friendless, groups, mobile SMS forwarding, and call notifications, Razer Comms is the communication solution for the dedicated gamer. Razer Comm's minimal in-game overlay has a panel that grabs all your messages and lets you see who is speaking in a voice call without interrupting your game.
Now I'll always know who's breathing into the mic. It's always me.
By pairing Razer Comm's mobile with your PC, your friends can call you, no matter where you are.
All right, welcome back. Short and sweet, and everybody's gone. It looks like Leviathan took the chance to try and make the escape, guys. So we are back, and we're going to talk a little bit about Team Leviathan and some of the recent play stuff. And I also want to talk about how you sort of made your push of late, and where you came up from. So Team Leviathan is a team that's been around for a while. I think I've seen you guys playing for, what, almost a year now together? Is that a good estimate?
Yeah, most of us.
Like me, Nisham, and Jenkins have been playing since like November.
Did I say you can have a beer, Corey?
You can just interrupt
Those
me
are my
if you
beers.
want. It's okay.
I'm sorry, Toffees.
Me, Nisham, and Jenkins have been together like November of 2013, I want to say, and then Shibby joined the team about a year ago. So Yeah, I've been around for a while.
So you've been around for a while, and I think a lot of us saw the video that Jenkins made on his account about how to take a team from sort of obscurity and the amateur scene to trying to go pro. And I thought it was a really good video. I think that you guys have proven that it is doable, because I started covering, for those of you who don't know, Leviathan back in, I think it was Sunday Evening Cup Series. Or
we got history, man.
We do. We go way back. These guys used to troll me in lobbies when I was starting out as a caster for the first time.
It wasn't me. You did it too.
I think us too.
There was much. It's all right. I was a first-time caster. They were a young team who just wanted to have some fun, and I enjoyed watching them play and said, I see these guys have a good dynamic. They have good synergy. I'm excited to see what they can do. And then we watched them move into some other leagues like SEVO and sort of, I think, work your way up to the ranks. And since then, we've literally seen you guys go from, a team that was maybe known among the, what do I want to call us? Those of us who are so addicted to Dota that we watch North American Amateur Dota, come on, that's some Dota addiction there. To people, you're actually well known, and when discussions come up for invites for the North American region, your name is generally at the top of the list with about 3 or 4 other teams. That's a pretty big accomplishment in and of itself. Do you guys feel like you've been able to accomplish your goal as quickly as you'd like, or do you think that that's not good enough and you want to be right there as the #1 North American team?
I think I pretty much speak for everyone when I say that we take our victories like a step at a time, but we really want more. We really want that big opportunity and that big chance to prove ourselves.
I completely understand that. And now as we look at sort of the last couple of months, I think that's the important part, because what you talked about in that video, the idea of getting yourself to the level of becoming a professional team, was first getting into the tournaments, right? And getting a chance to play the big names. And you're doing that now. However, we've seen some hiccups on the road, I feel like. Like last night, you guys went up against Void Boys in some pretty important games. Jenkins Hooks may not have been the best that I've ever seen him play. It was a rough night, and I feel like is that one of the biggest challenges that you run into as an up-and-coming team? Like, how do you bounce back from nights where you know that you should have done better?
Well, I actually think we're at our strongest right now. It's just our internet's really messed up right now, so we're at 300 plus ping. We can barely play pubs right now.
Oh, well,
it kind of sucks. I don't know.
It's better now, but last night
it's still bad. I just
is it bad?
Yeah, it's still bad. It's just so I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. So the second game of that series, we just decided to fuck around pretty much because we knew we were gonna lose, because it's just it was just awful, the amount of lag. I don't know. I don't live in Florida, so I don't know what's going on. There was a big storm, so we think it may have knocked down some important wires or some shit like that. So it's rerouting. It's just awful.
Makes sense. I mean, that is something to speak to. When I talk to a lot of teams, I got to go to the EG boot camp earlier this year and talk a little bit with Charlie about scrims and setting up houses and sort of how they play. And a lot of teams, when they pick places, it's literally they look at the internet and say, this is where we're gonna settle. And as a self-funded team, and let's be honest, it's Corey's dad that's funding you, so we're gonna say self-funded. That's something that you don't have a lot of options in. So, is that frustrating? Is it something that can be worked around? How do you deal with a 300 ping disadvantage?
We actually do have Google Fiber. The ping has been fantastic up until this point. I've absolutely I'm honestly I don't know what the hell happened.
That
I
sucks.
I feel like I have a pretty decent understanding of networking and stuff. And we called and got our IP address switched and stuff like that. It's not DDoSing.
We also checked with other people around the country on the east side, and other people are having similar issues.
It's just it's I don't know. It's a weird technical hiccup that we weren't really expecting, kind of thing. So it kind of sucks, but I mean, there's a lot of tournaments we're playing in, so we're upset that we got booted out of Red Bull, but there's a lot more that we have going, so it's not the first.
Let's talk a little bit about that. What else do you have going? What pots do you have burning, and what do we look forward to seeing coming from you guys?
Corey, say it. What? Camera's right there. You got the microphone. You can speak into it. Let's go.
Yo, Corey. Yo. We have Canada Cup that's coming up. We have MLG that we have a few more games left in. And hopefully we can make it to Division 1. and go from there.
We play. If that ever happens.
We play if that,
if it ever happens.
So, can't forget Gatorland.
And we have a local LAN that we're going to this weekend that should I spoil? Should I say? I don't know if he's announced that he's going.
What? Fluff?
Yeah.
Well, I just ruined it. So.
Yeah, okay, you ruined it.
Fluff is
Fluff
coming
and
out,
stuff,
and we're gonna get drunk. We're gonna get drunk and stoned and eat chicken fingers. It's gonna be a good time.
All right, so
minus the stone part. That's not legal.
That's
on Saturday. That's a local LAN in at UF.
That's just a Canadian saying, so it's not.
You're not in Ontario anymore, so I don't know. Different legalness here. That said, though, so it sounds like a LAN, and honestly, if you guys are taking your whole team, you should probably do pretty well there. Let's talk about going towards TI. So what we're going to see in the next couple of months, next month even, is the invites for qualifiers are going to start to come out. And I think we can all be honest and say that the direct invite is probably not going to be something that you get issued this year, maybe next year or the year after. But when it comes to qualifiers, do you have a plan to try and put yourself out there so that the teams, the invite team sees you and says, Leviathan's a team that we need to bring? Do you think that that's something that you've already earned? Or do you think that you need to put some more work in to get that?
For the qualifiers?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
we'll be invited.
During this, we got fourth in Summit, third in Summit, something like that. So I feel like probably it makes sense for the qualifiers, at least the qualifiers. So. Definitely not a direct invite, obviously. That goes to like EG. And if they want to invite like one more, that's probably going to be Team Tinker. So, but definitely for the qualifiers, and we're like really looking forward to it. It's like the main goal of this whole place.
So, let me ask you this, and you brought up two teams, EG and Team Tinker there. EG are arguably one of the best team, or was until 2 days ago, arguably the best team in North America, or in the entire world, actually, not North America, I'm sorry. Are they a team, is there any team in North America, I'll broaden this out, that you don't think you can beat when you guys are on your game? Or do you think that, honestly, when you go through qualifiers, there's no team that can stop you?
I don't think... North America is so volatile right now. Like, for instance, we'll just, go 2-0 Wheel one day, and then Wheel will go, like, 2-0 Void Boys, and then Void Boys will just 2-0 us. And it's just like, well, I don't know, like, what the hell to think about, like, how good we are right now, or how good they are, because... It's just like this big like circle of just like people like dominating each other. Complexity, Void Boys, Summoner Sheriff, all these people. I have absolutely no idea at this point. We're hoping to get more consistent for the qualifiers, but I feel like if we are on our A game, we're like fairly unstoppable. Just because we have such like an aggressive play style with like really different strategies, especially for like the NA region. I think that can carry us through like a lot of the qualifiers if we actually are consistent. But a lot of the times we aren't really trying to work on that.
Makes sense. So putting in the time, being consistent, and I think that you guys have an advantage, and correct me if I'm wrong here, in the sense that you're a team that has been together for a long time, that you play together a lot, that you're not sort of a recent come together or a conglomeration of NEL superstars. Do you think that works to your advantage, the fact that you guys have been doing this for so long and sort of worked your way up instead of just forming and starting to get invites?
I think it's like an advantage and disadvantage, and we actually had we call them powwows. We just we'll pretty much sit around and put everything on the table pretty much and just talk about what we're doing wrong. And sometimes it sucks because sometimes somebody's really fucking the pooch and you got to get it out there. It's sometimes emotional. Sometimes people are crying. Zebra's crying all the time. Just whines. No, but seriously, we do have powwows. And we talked about... what was the question again? I totally forgot now, actually.
We have an advantage.
Okay, if we have an advantage... Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Zebra was saying that's, it's an advantage and a disadvantage because we don't want to be, so comfortable with each other that we just, let things go. Kind of you fight with your brother... and you hate him, and you think he's a dick, and then a day later you just, you guys are fine again because he's your brother or your sister. And that's kind of how we are. And sometimes it's bad because we'll let things slide and habits will linger, and we'll just have really, really bad habits together. Other times it works to our advantage because we have really good natural synergy just because we've spent so much time just playing with each other because we actually enjoy it.
Makes sense.
A lot of teams call it the honeymoon period when you like first start a team, and NA has this a lot.
Yeah.
Usually teams are like at their strongest when they first start, just because they're like super excited, like, oh, I'm playing with this player or this like NEL superstar, and you just own. But after the honeymoon period ends, that's when you like really start working out the kinks, and not a lot of NA teams like go past that point. So
that's absolutely true, and I think I'm not a voter. I have no say in who TI or who Valve invites to the event. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's got to be a value when you look at it, because I know that for us who are fans, there's a value to looking and saying, these guys have put the work in. These guys have made it past the honeymoon phase. And I know for a fact that these guys aren't going to break up tomorrow just because they have a rough night. And I think that that's something that definitely appeals to the fan base, because all I hear over and over and over again when we talk about NA Dota is how, and I'm going to use French here because it makes my viewers and me so angry, but how the fuck am I supposed to love North American Dota when every team that I like breaks up 2 weeks after they come together? And I think that that is really been one of the appeals of Leviathan. It has for me from the beginning, and I think a lot of the viewers feel the same way. The idea that you guys are willing to work through it, and we've seen that. Now, as we go, actually, before I get to the TI prep system, I want to ask about Team Tinker. You brought them up as well. You said there's a good chance that if another North American team got an invite, Team Tinker would get it. Do you think that's fair? I mean, it sort of seems like Team Tinker saw a region that was less difficult in terms of tons and tons of top teams and moved here to train. You know what I mean? Because there's some CIS players there. There's some players who aren't traditionally North American players. Do you think that that's okay, or is that something that maybe chaps your ass just a little bit?
Well, I don't think they can get an invite because they roster changed, but I think they're kind of like coming over here hoping for a better shot. I mean,
it's strategic.
You can't blame them for it. I mean, it's like,
if there's an opportunity there, it's can't blame me for taking it. NA is a pretty easy road if you're actually a really good team. So
when you heard Tinker was moving to Canada to train, was there a sense of frustration? Because I mean, honestly, you're looking at a bracket that you now have to go through that just got a heck of a lot harder to get to the TI LAN.
It's a little frustrating, but we're really confident that when we're playing our A game, we can beat pretty much any team.
I like it.
Maybe we'll be on even grounds with EG if we're playing our top game, but it'll still be really rough. But any other team, we're not super worried about. We're playing our best.
That's good to hear, and that's awesome. I like that confidence. Keep that going. So, considering the confidence, rolling forward, TI qualifiers are on the way. We're going to find out about them. I would guess 4 to 5 weeks probably we'll start to hear things coming out potentially. What is it like for you guys? You said the whole purpose, the move here, was to sort of get ready for this and get ready to go big. Is there a sense of, I don't want to say fear or worry, is there a sense of, oh my goodness, when are we going to find out in the house right now? Or is it just head to nose to the grindstone, let's train it out until this thing happens?
You mean for the invite to the qualifiers?
Yeah, I mean, most of the big tournaments are pretty much wrapping up, right? There's not another big qualifier LAN before TI. So everything from now till then is really getting ready for the biggest event in Dota in the entire world. Does that weigh on you guys, or is it not really crossing your mind?
Nervous about it. Don't say it like that.
So everything was good until I started talking. I respect that.
Yeah. I can't talk about this sleep tonight.
Do you have any special plans to get ready for it, or is it going to stick to the same schedule, and just what are you focusing on to make the team better, I guess is the best question.
I think for me, my plan is basically keeping morale high, confidence high, and working on consistency especially. So those are the 3 main goals, and of course we're going to try to work on new unique strats that fit our playstyle best, that can maybe throw other teams off guard, or just we think are the strongest that maybe people haven't discovered. But mainly it's the other 3 that are huge for us. I think our mental state is the most important thing.
I like that. I mean, that makes amazing sense, and I would say that as anybody who's played a lot of traditional sports would agree that that's an argument that's constantly made, that mental state is the key to victory almost every time. The other thing I want to talk to you about is you guys do a lot of YouTube videos, you do a lot of streaming. I know Jenkins and Shibby are two of the more active streamers in the house that I see always on. I could be missing somebody else's. I feel like Jenkins gets a lot of viewers. Shibby, do you sometimes get pissed at him because he has so many?
No, it's okay. It's good someone's at least getting the viewers. That's pretty much it.
We just laugh about it sometimes. It's a little ironic sometimes when
It's like
Chibi's
the guy that's carrying the whole team has like 20, while the guy like feeding has like 400.
I'm
making space.
Chibi's sitting next to him with like 12 viewers, 21 and 1 Lena, winning the game by himself, and then this guy's like 3 and 4 off lane or something, and he's got 200 or something. It's just funny to us, but it doesn't really matter.
I'm making the space for this guy to go up and kill people. 4 people TP top. Alina just Laguna Blade some guy mid. Oh, she'd be sick.
Anyway, we have fun with it, and we understand that it's about consistency as well. Like, as long as we keep streaming, more people will want to watch because they'll know we're going to be streaming.
We're a team though, dude. My viewers are their viewers.
Did you know that if you host both of your streams through a website, both of you get credit for the viewers watching the website? Just throwing that out there for you.
Now we know. That's actually really useful.
What's the website?
No, you would have to just set up a regular website, and then you would host, like, literally embed both streams one on top of the other, and then people could watch both streams at the same time, and you would get the views for both. Just throwing that out there. We used to do that in World of Warcraft back in the day.
Success now.
So, the reason I bring up streaming is something that I think that you guys do really well and have in the past and have continued to do is you market yourselves, right? You do streams. You were not afraid to reveal strategies. You would stream your scrims, which did a great job of sort of bringing fans on board and letting us get to know you. Is that something that's going to stop as we get closer to the TI qualifiers, or are you still going to have a sort of no-holds-barred, watch-me-practice strategy policy?
I mean, we don't really stream scrims anymore, but I think just like as people and like at least our like structure around the house is that we're like really open with each other, and I think like as a result we're probably gonna be pretty open with the community about things. Strategies are different because if you like leave a game with spectators on in like NA Dota, you'll have like 100 spectators within like the first 3 minutes because people are always trying to snipe your strategies. But with like all of like the community stuff and like what we're doing and like we're always going to be totally open about that, so I don't think that's going to change.
Yeah, the important thing that's changed about streaming scrims is that some NA teams really won't care. A lot of them are getting a little more serious, but some just didn't care before, and it was kind of like it didn't matter, it's inconsequential. But when you're streaming like on EU servers, a lot of teams will care a lot more, especially when it's like really higher tier EU teams.
Right. So scrims are something that sort of has to stay locked out a little bit. I think that there was stuff like I think when Jenkins released his Pudge jungling video that demonstrated exactly how to do it. Some of us sat back and said, "Wait a minute, this is a strategy that you guys use on a regular basis. Why are you teaching everyone else how to do it?" Is that something that was just anyone can figure this out, or the pros already know, so it's not a big deal?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the idea. Like if I don't think we would have revealed that unless we'd used it. I mean, we've like plenty of strategies. Like this guy's a little evil genius sitting here. He's coming up with all these crazy ass strategies. We always say, "Oh boy, Zebra's off his rocker again." That's always what we say. And when he's off his rocker, oh boy, you should see the strategies he's coming up with. I can't spoil them now, but we got some like crazy ass strategies. And I don't think I would post a video unless we had used it, because if we use it and it's successful, like other people will probably use it.
I mean, at that point, people could just watch a replay if they want to know like the timings and general idea of it. So
may as well like teach like the whole community.
Makes sense. But I like hearing what you just said about Zebra, and the fact that it sounds like you guys are open to innovation and you're open to trying out new things. I feel like very often, and I watch a lot of pro and semi-pro Dota, a lot of times it's sort of like trickle-down economics of drafting. Right? The idea that we watch EG and Secret and sort of the big bad voodoo daddies, the IGs of the world, and they come up with these fun metas, and then everyone else just sort of has watered down second coffee brews, basically, of the same meta. And I feel like you guys try to get outside of that. You try to think outside of this box that semi-pro Dota and pro Dota is stuck in. Is that on purpose, or is it just because Zebra has a crazy brain that never stops?
I think we all like to try new things, and it's really fun for us and interesting, and we also just kind of get bored of like the old stuff sometimes. But we like to just like keep ourselves like thinking creatively and like making sure we like are thinking of the next step and like trying to be ahead of the game basically.
And I think that that's good. I mean, especially going up against some of the teams that you guys are going to meet in the next few months ahead of the game is always going to work really well. When we talk about formats, what do you guys look forward to when you look at, like, there's so many crazy tournament formats that have come out lately. Is there a tournament format that you really love or something that you really hate? I mean, for instance, MLG Columbus was a best of one round robin that basically determined placement in the finals versus other tournaments where you're looking at best of 3 round robins or Dota Pit's best of 2 series. Is there something that you think you guys really benefit from or love, or is something that you think is just over the top and needs to disappear?
I think we prefer round robins a lot. Like Summit 2 is a pretty good example of that. It's just like, I guess, less stress because it's not like, oh, if we lose one game, like, it doesn't dramatically shift you or anything like that. And so yeah, we like round robins and like I guess losers brackets too also removes a lot of the stress when you're in a playoff situation. So
well, that comes with like the fact that we were having consistency issues. I think if we become more consistent, we'd be a lot more satisfied with like best of 3 situations where we're confident that we win a best of 3 every time against any other team basically.
That makes sense. So let me ask you this, and this is something that we don't get to talk to a lot of teams in huge groups, and it's something that I think has become more and more of an issue lately with the increased amount of tournaments out there. You guys are scrimming 5 to 6 hours a day. You have a lot of games and a lot of tournaments on a consistent basis. Do you ever run into an issue with just burnout, where there's just a morning where you wake up and you just don't want to fucking touch Dota, or you don't want to play in a tournament? And how do you deal with that?
I think that's probably our biggest issue right now, is that we just like scrim way too fucking much. Like after Summit 3, we just like lost everything for like a few days after that. And then we took a few breaks, got drunk as fuck, went and partied a little bit, and we come back and we 2-0 Complexity, who beat the living shit out of us in Summit 3. We 2-0 them out of MLG like it's just like, it was like night and day. And all we need to do is get drunk as fuck one night, and all of a sudden wake up next day, you're done. You're like, oh, I want to play some Dota. So yeah, I think that's actually the biggest issue. So I'm like kind of glad you pointed that out. It's like burnout. So
yeah, with the schedule we have currently, we're trying to find like the fine balance. Like right now, I think this is fine for us, but I'm used to playing a lot more Dota than these guys. Since like the last team I was on and stuff, I've just been playing a lot. Like I said, I took the year off from school already, and I've just been playing for a long time. But maybe these guys, they're more satisfied with just a few scrims a day. And what we're trying to work on is trying to get quality over quantity out of our scrims, be as efficient as possible with our time here. Because once we're in a routine and we're getting the structure going, where we understand that our time's just going to fly by, just like in school or if you're working or something.
Interesting. So, and I assume there's also a burden of some of you are more consistent streamers than others and sort of see that as another avenue for yourselves. And that's got to be tough, of playing scrims all day and then going on and streaming at night and playing pubs, and that just makes for a big schedule. Do you... I guess when you look at it this way, when we talk about traditional sports, let's say football, most of us are familiar with football here because you're a North American team. The teams practice 5-6 days a week. They have a night off usually where they watch tapes before a game on Sunday, and then they have Monday off to recover from the game and then train the rest of the week. The way that Dota is formatted, is a schedule like that even functional for a Dota 2 team because of how much you actually have to play matches?
I think that's something that teams are trying to set up for themselves more lately, especially the highest tier teams like Secret and EG. Like when they pulled out of those tournaments recently, it's kind of like the similar deal where they're making sure that they're focusing on certain things because it lets you perform better in those specific tournaments.
Yeah.
And team like us, maybe we're trying to prove ourselves a little bit more, so we're more inclined to just like play any kind of qualifier we can like do that week, or we feel like it's really good practice for us. So I think in our situation, that's not something that would function very well. Of course, I think we believe that taking a day off is important every week.
Yeah.
But in terms of like just having like one match or something, we focus on just one time a week. We think probably that's not the situation we're in right now. I don't think we get to pick and choose too much at this moment.
Absolutely. You're working your way up. And so, well, I do have another question. And while we're talking about the sort of like the stress of being an up-and-coming team, how do you deal, and I think Town Kill OD brought this up in Twitch chat, how do you deal with what I would imagine is the intense frustration of, say, a Summit situation where you guys have been playing for a while, you've put in months of round robin, you've got through qualifiers, you've gotten to the point where you are literally almost to the LAN, and then just suffer a really unfortunate defeat. How do you bounce back from that and then go into your next tournament the next day?
Alcohol. That's okay. Well, I mean, that's not wrong, but what I'm going to say basically is it's about keeping your mental state and your morale high and making sure you stay positive. Basically, anytime we suffer like a crushing defeat, we will usually have a powwow soon after. We'll talk things out, what our concerns are, what went wrong, what we think we need to be doing better, and we'll make sure we're staying on the positive side and focus on the future, because you really can't go back. You just need to learn from it and move on.
Awesome. That's a great answer. Did you guys buy tickets to TI?
Yes. We only managed to get one person that could actually get the buy button going, so...
Did you get 5, though, off of that, or...?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Good. So we'll see you there. That's exciting. That's
hey,
it.
we're going to win the qualifiers. What are you talking about?
Well, hey, no, that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
need those tickets.
well, that's what I was curious. Well, that's the point. That's the fun part now. If you get to, when you get through qualifiers and you get to go, that means you can sell those tickets to cover your costs and anything else you need, right? So we're going to see Jenkins out there scalping tickets. That said, guys, we're about to wrap up. We've been going for a while here. I think we've had some really good insight into you as a team. That said, I want to give you a chance to sort of address not just your fans, the ants that already love you, but this show gets listened to by a lot of North or Western Dota fans, and I think that you guys are a team that deserves recognition. So here's a chance to talk to folks who may not be as familiar with Team Leviathan. What do you want to say to those folks?
Basically that we think, for ourselves, we feel like we're an up and coming team that, as long as we keep working hard and stay dedicated and motivated, that we're striving to be one of the top teams in America and hopefully the world. And we really just want to do our best to like make people proud of us, our families, our friends, whatnot. And
the ants, of course.
Yeah, the ants, yes. And we really just want to like do our best and really like have a good time while doing it. So that's why we're here.
That's the key point. We have a good fucking time.
You have a good. It looks like you're having a good time.
I'm getting drunk.
Also, we really like interacting with our fans as well and trying to give back in some ways, like through our guides, or we're trying to like do coaching with people that want it, if they really want to like get one-on-one time with us or just learning from us and stuff. And
make some one-on-one time with you, buddy.
Thank you. And then, of course, anything else that we can think of, basically.
Awesome. So I want to touch this, though. I mentioned that you guys said a few times that the whole purpose of this house was to prep for TI. What happens afterwards? If you make it to the main event, or if you don't make it to the main event, does the house go away? Does it stick around? What are the plans for Leviathan for the next year post-TI?
Well, I think we'll stay here at least for the summer until a couple of us have to go back to school. Not sure what we'll do. I mean, other than just playing tournaments, probably do streaming, coaching, try to, work on repaying the house. Yeah, other than that, we're not really sure. I guess we're just take it as it comes.
We're going with the flow.
Yep.
We're always going with the flow, boys.
I mean, I'm confident that no matter what happens, like something we've talked about is that no matter what happens, we still want to be friends in the end. We're not going to like make enemies of each other, because honestly, I could see myself like talking to these guys in a couple of years and still like, chatting and having a good time, maybe even getting together sometimes.
Love you too, Zebra.
And as long as we don't like completely get pissed off at each other and rage, I think we're still going to be together, either as a team or just as friends. And maybe we're done with Dota, I don't know. It depends how we feel about our potential in the scene at that point, but I'm sure we'd all like to continue and take this as far as we can.
All right, sounds good. Any last words or shout-outs before we sign out for the night?
What are you looking at me for? We got a YouTube channel, Leviathan Dota. We're offering coaching. That's pretty important because we're trying to pay off a lot of money on the house with that money. We have some shirts we're selling. It's a Flying Zebra shirt. Shredder's wearing...
I don't have a shirt.
He's not wearing a shirt, so don't even look at him. He's kind of ugly anyway. Don't look at him. We all like to stream, Twitters, all that sort of stuff. And shout out to the ants mostly. You guys are...
Yeah, shout out to Canada.
Shout out to broccoli and cheese.
Shout out to Trailer Park Boys. Favorite show for the month.
All right.
All right. I'll send you, we got probably 20, 50 more shout outs. I'll probably send you those. You can do them at the end of the show. Not a big deal.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate you being on the show. I appreciate all those of you listening live. If you're listening on the podcast or at the YouTube or any other avenue afterwards, we appreciate your support.